Father Christmas is coming. Father Christmas. It's Christmas. You already told us. Oh, me. Honey. Coach Live is on. Marni?
It's Good Side featuring Paul Rosen, better known as Rosie. And you know what? It's brought to you by the
I think you know already.
Good Side. Can you believe that? A 12-year-old girl in Adelaide, Australia did that up for you and me, Rosie. Can you believe that?
I am telling you, I am so proud of that young lady. What a beautiful heart. In this time of nonsense, when everybody is trying to get everybody upset, you've got a gorgeous little girl with a beautiful heart in Australia reaching out to Gooch Live. I love it.
That's unbelievable. Hey, we got two great guests.
Yep.
Kevin Noble, you know him. He's on, I think he's 0-2 with you, with the Canadians.
I think he was on a winner. He was definitely with me as a loser, but he was there a couple of times, and I'm pretty sure he won once too. But you talk about a heart and soul kid. Like, he's not going to tell you anything great. I'm telling you, he's got a very humble outlook of life, but he was a heart and soul guy, and anytime I needed him, he was out there.
Hang on, are you talking about Kevin Noble or Jeff Christmas?
Kevin Noble. I didn't know Jeff Christian, but I'm looking forward to seeing him and getting to know him.
Yeah, me too. Listen, unbelievable that we've got Kevin on. We'll talk to him about his playing career and where he's supposed to be right now. Yep. And beautiful, I always call him the wife, but I think she's fiance / girlfriend. He'll let us know, Victoria, over in England. He'll tell us a little bit about that. Incredible. She's a first responder. She's right up to the front. She's taking care of people under these extreme times. He'll tell us about that. And then we have one of our favorites, one of my favorites, because he was involved with our team that went to Belarus, Jeff Christian. And we're going to ask him that ultimate question.
What's the ultimate question?
Did he use a Christian hockey stick?
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot.
I did.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Belarus with you that, and I can't remember what happened, but I didn't go.
They wouldn't let you cross the border?
No, I've been to Belarus before.
All right. Well, let's just think of why.
I don't know. You guys didn't want to lose? I don't know.
Hey, you know what this is?
What?
This is Gooch Live featuring Paul Rosen. I'm better known as the Gooch.
I'm better known as Rosie.
And it's brought to you by those good people at the Hockey News.
And the great people at Christian Hockey will ask Jeff about Christian if he knows anything about them, or they just have the same name.
Listen, I wonder if we get a couple extra bucks if Kevin and...
Extra bucks? We haven't even got a nickel. I'll take anything extra.
Well, if
I need a new rubber foot. Gooch, my rubber foot is ripped apart. I need a new rubber foot.
Well, we'll try and work on that. But if Kevin or Jeff used a Christian hockey stick, I'm going to ask for more money. But if both of them did, I want to ask for double.
Cool. I'm in.
Double or nothing's more than nothing, I guess.
All right, let's get started. What are we doing?
We want to talk a little bit about, there is a big announcement. The NWHL has announced that they are going to have a franchise in Toronto. What can you tell me on that?
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's time that the league really gets to have some cohesiveness. Let's get the women's hockey program to where it needs to be. We had one of our favorites, Sammy Jo Small, on. We'll have to have her back again. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, listen, Robert Wine's on. He's saying, listen, nothing's going to happen like yesterday where he had technical issues. This guy's a brainiac, right? He was with a bunch of computer companies. And
you know what? I want to say something to Robert for a second.
A lot. He's jinked us a lot.
He is you talk about salt of the earth human being. He
Yeah.
put out a Facebook picture from like 3 years ago, and made a comment that, there's dark days, yes, and he's had a hard life, but he looks at the bright side, and he looks at every 4 o'clock, every day at 4 o'clock. He looks forward to Gooch Live. My heart goes out to him. He is a hell of a guy.
Yes, and obviously his accent, he's part of the Canada Five. One day we'll explain about Robert Wine. Unbelievable guy. We love you. Thanks for always being there and watching us. Listen, I want to go back to the NWHL. I'm bad with names. I may get this one. The lovely lady that's putting this all together is the chairman. Her name is Tai Tumania.
Okay. I'm excited.
It's not a Russian name. It sounds more Finnish.
I can't wait when hockey comes back for the women's game to be shown and highlighted the way it should be. The NHL team should get on board with this. We have incredible women hockey players all over the world, Canada and in the United States of America, but everywhere.
Okay, so before we bring on our first guest, Kevin Noble, and before we do the rant, we want to talk about the big trade.
Wow, you were right.
So, I listen. I'm not a big NFL fan. I'm a Minnesota Viking fan, of course. That's what gets me excited because I live in Winnipeg. It wasn't a far drive. I went down to a bunch of cold games before they had the roof. So tell me your thoughts. How many people are going to jump on the bandwagon, going from the Patriots fans to the Tampa Bay Bucks?
Well, I think the rock hard Patriot fans will stay with New England, but the fair weather guys, the ones who loved Gronk and loved Brady outside of the program itself, they will follow Tampa. And the one thing that I heard already, it's less than 24 hours, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers apparel sales have skyrocketed, Goot, because they want that Tom Brady jersey and they want that Gronkowski jersey. And you know what? There's a lot of guys in the league that are saying, why is this big monster coming back?
Love it. Absolutely love it. Wasn't he on a game show or something? Or
now
is he
all
wrestling?
We need is football. All we need is football. Once we get football, we got some good things to watch. Do you think that they're going to turn? Honestly, do you think they'll turn Tampa around?
Stanley Cup.
What?
I'm worried about the Stanley Cup. I could care less about football.
I know, but I'm asking you a question. Do you think Gronkowski and Brady will turn Tampa around?
What cup do they play for?
The Super Bowl. Jeez.
I bet you they make the Super Bowl finals and they lose.
Vince Lombardi.
All right, enough of that.
All right, let's get on.
I want the Vikings to win.
It's never going to happen.
They're going to come. Hey,
lost 4 Super Bowls. Frank Tarkenton lives on.
That's right. Our European correspondent, Shoppy's on, saying hello already.
Beautiful.
All right, here we go. You know what time it is?
It's Rosie.
It's rant time. Yeah. All right, Rosie, you got to rant. And then we got Kevin, and we'll judge your rant with what Kevin says. All right, here you go.
Sure. I'm going to get a little, nice. I want to put something out there, and it's not going to be a rant where I just go nuts today. There's a lot of people, okay? On the 30th, on Gooch's birthday, I will be 15 months clean and sober. It's been a long road, a long, long road. And in this time, this epidemic, this pandemic, there's a lot of people that are struggling. Relapse is going up by 50%, people. I'm begging you, anybody that's watching that is in recovery, hang tough. You can do it. Get a good doctor. Get somebody in your life who's going to be positive. I've thought about relapse a few times in these last 40 days, but I'm telling you, don't do it. Hang tough. Stay strong. I'm there if you need me. 647-669-6857. Stay strong. In honor of beautiful Karen Goulet, Gooch's sister, I'm staying strong every day. That's it, Gooch.
That was very kind. Thank you, bud. Hang on a sec. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just
Oh, no,
lost.
it's okay. Yeah, you
In the last,
didn't.
in the
You
last
didn't.
couple of days, I've lost a couple of friends to
Yeah,
relapse.
I know.
Um,
Yeah.
it's a
Well,
hard.
thanks. Yeah, thanks. So honest and so true that we know we go through those things, right? And my beautiful sister, unfortunately, we lost her. I don't. There's not a day that goes by I don't think of her. But thank you for keeping her in your heart and your memories. That was very kind. What a rant! I can't even dispute what you just ranted about.
Well, I just needed to get that out there because there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that are watching us that I know are going through hard times.
Yes, you know what? And this next guy that's coming up, Kevin, his beautiful girlfriend, Victoria, is on the front lines in England, and we want to know about that. Compliments. Our heart goes out to her too. So fantastic, buddy. Well done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, from Sparwood, BC. Where the heck is Sparwood, BC? Kevin Noble.
Town
Where the heck is Sparwood, BC?
near Crow's Nest Pass.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, of course.
Yeah.
Bruce, we had dinner there last week.
No, we didn't. That was Denny's.
At the one time, the biggest dump truck in the world. So, I mean, perfect that I'm from a place with the biggest dump truck, right?
Did you say the biggest dump?
Dump truck.
Oh, dump truck. All right. Well, good. Thanks for clarifying that. Well, Kevin, always good to see you, bud. How you doing?
Good, good. How you guys doing? I heard your rant there, Rosie, and I just want to say, congrats on the sobriety and everything you said. I think it's important that everybody knows that isn't in that position, especially in a time like this. People on the front lines or people in a tough spot, that they're not alone, and there's a lot of people there in their corner, and we're all in their corner, and to call on those people that are there for them in these times.
Thanks, I appreciate it. And Gooch knows what him and Tony, his wife, I know you know her very well. They were there. They were the first people actually there outside of my immediate family when I was in the hospital. So I'll never forget that.
It's not a fight you have to go through alone.
Love you, kid. We're with you. Hey, listen, Martin Williams, great rant, Paul, with a bunch of strong arms and all that sort of stuff.
Marty.
And Archie Allison, we love you, Paul. Hey, there's a love fest here.
Archie's an incredible guy. He runs Variety Village in Toronto. He is an absolute gem. Deals with disabled people all the time, and he's the Pied Piper for disability. He is such an incredible man.
You're talking about Archie Allison?
Archie Allison, yes.
Okay, shout out to Archie Allison. I think I've met you once, and you do incredible stuff. So thank you. But when we go to Martin Williams, Kevin, you know him very well because I was supposed to meet you with Martin at an event, and unfortunately, as you know, my sister was struggling, and we lost her. And you went and did the school with him. So tell us about Martin. We had a great chat with him, eh, Paul?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Love Marty. Yeah, we had a great time running that hockey the camp there that week, Gooch, and that was a blast. And we can't get into it on this show, but we had one heck of a good night, and I was certainly feeling it for a few days.
Hey, who's crazier, him or me?
Ooh.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, we had a good night. Marty knows. It was fun.
So before we get into your hockey career and all the great things that you've done, let's talk about Victoria, please, if you don't mind. And obviously she's over there. We know that you're here in Vancouver. We'll explain to people why you're here and not there, or why you're not in Australia. But please, when you can, make sure you do a big shout out to her for us, okay? It's very important.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody with a family member or loved one that's on the front lines and these crazy, terrible, insane, whatever word you want to use to describe it, times is you certainly, you worry, you are, you're concerned, and, at the same time, overly proud of, what they're doing, sort of running to the front lines. And certainly in Victoria's case, she's first one to volunteer to be in the COVID clinic at her practice, which is, I mean, she's Gooch knows, and I don't know if Rosie, you met Victoria, but one of the most modest and caring, sort of selfless people you will meet, and sort of the true word of a doctor. The volunteer herself in a time of uncertainty and sort of a faceless enemy, I guess, is, certainly makes me at the same time, like I said, concerned, but also very proud and yeah, proud of everything she's doing for the people in England and the NHS. And I think every day, you know, you worry and you're concerned, and you also you pray that they stay safe so they can keep taking care of us as a whole.
Yeah, beautifully said. Like Gooch and I and the show, our hearts go out to everybody on the front line. We're nothing without them. So absolutely. And Tony says, we love Victoria. Tell her she's amazing and stay safe. Let's talk about your hockey career, buddy. I know you played for me that 1 year in Australia. We lost, unfortunately. Gooch will always tell you, I've coached twice. The only times Canada's lost in the 9 years was 2 times. Rosie was behind the bench both times. I'll take it. Yeah, I know it hurts. But tell us about your career coming up as a young boy, where you played, what you did.
Well, first of all, the Australia, yeah, I've been 4 times and won 3 of 4, and it's obviously a fun tournament, but it's the ego, the sort of the competitive juice to get flowing is always nice to win, especially when you're Canada. You feel like this sort of innate need to win at ice hockey, right? Like that's our thing. So it's always a little bit tough on the ego when you don't win. But that was yeah, those are amazing tournaments. But I started playing in little small town, Sparwood, BC, little coal mining town, 2,000 people. And like I was saying, at one time, the sort of the landmark statue of the town is a ginormous dump truck. It's huge, that would take the coal and get it to the trains and get it shipped out to where it's going. So I grew up playing there, and hockey was just one of those things in a small town you just do, right? Like you go to school, it's a town of 2,000 people, everybody, and after school you just you go to the hockey rink, right? Or you go to the outdoor lakes in winters in Canada. And yeah, so I started there, and we had just a really great young minor hockey program there with a lot of guys that had a lot of success. And actually, guy I played with there growing up, he played for Germany's national team in the Olympics, Daryl Boyle. So we've had some guys go on to have some good careers professionally and junior hockey wise, and that. So after that, toiled minor hockey for a bit. I went to the first ever Okanagan Hockey Academy in Penticton because it was a small, where I was, it was just hard to kind of get noticed or to really get the training you needed. And academies started come in. This was about 12, 13 years ago. And it was the first ever Okanagan Hockey Academy. And now people will know that they produce NHLers and great teams. And of that time, the first year I went there, we played against local midget teams in the sort of Okanagan Valley. And I think we lost by more than a touchdown a few times. It was a long year, and it was my first year away from home, so there was a lot of tough times there. But it's kind of one of those, it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. But I swear it almost killed me a few times. But I was fortunate to get the training there and to able to go on to play junior, mostly with the Nanaimo Clippers, and we won a BCHL title, and then we lost in the Canadians that year, Doyle Cup. So had some success there and went on to play U.S. college at Mercyhurst, a smaller Division I school, which actually helped me because I was able to go in and play right away as a freshman, as opposed to maybe if you go to a bigger school, for a guy like me, you don't play right away and you don't get the reps in, you don't get the practice and the game time that you don't develop. And from there, I was able to come out and play in the East Coast League, mostly for my North American career, a little bit of a cup of coffee in the American League, and then over to England for 4 years. And then now I'm was on my way to Australia, and then COVID stopped everything. So obviously it sucks, but everybody's in the same position, and we just kind of just stay in the fight and we keep trying to just get through, and this too shall pass, and we will be better for it.
Absolutely. You're listening to Gooch Live featuring Paul Rosen. We are with Kevin Noble. Kevin, a couple people are saying Martin Williams just confirmed he was hurting for 3 days. So obviously it was that much fun. Barry Chase, good day, Kevin. Jake Gilmore, one of our favorites, is saying hello. He says, one of the best guys, love this guy off the ice. Not sure what that means. What about on the ice? I guess he played for the USA, and you probably hammered him a couple times. But we have a European correspondent who's going to be.
Don't YouTube me.
Because you know what? I think Paul, did he not mention that your head met a few fists or something? What was that all about?
Yeah, it's something about his face met many fists.
Is that true, Kevin?
Yeah. I like to say there's a few videos out there that don't do my face justice.
Well, you couldn't do any better than me because I was 0-66 in junior. Hey, listen, our Europe
the other guys in the fist.
Our European correspondent Shoppy is going to be really excited about our next guest, Jeff Christian. However, he's got some questions for you. And Shoppy is one of the top journalists in a city called Krefeld. And it's never a show without having somebody that's involved with either Germany or, as you put it, Paul, he's either played in Krefeld, driven through Krefeld,
had a sandwich in Krefeld or something.
Or looked it up.
Great news, because the Krefeld Penguins are back. They were going to be gone, Kev, but they got a resurgence of money, and they're sticking around.
So I spent some time in Germany, and obviously with Martin there, and just over travels, and I have a lot of time for Germany. It's a great country, and I'm a huge fan of the bratwurst and schnitzel. So
and the beer.
Oh yeah,
we'll ask,
knows about the beer.
We'll ask Jeff. We'll ask Jeff what his favorite beer is. Listen, Shoppy wanted to ask you a question here. Chad Costello and Vinny Sampaneri. You remember both of them?
Yes, actually, I played with Chad in Tulsa, and I played against him when he was in Colorado, and then a little bit in Tulsa. Or we actually spent a little bit of time in the now defunct St. Charles Chill. It was a CHL team. We both played there for a bit, and I mean Chad's resume as a player and a playmaker and a natural goal scorer, a guy that at the East Coast League level was every year. His name was at the top, if not in the top 2 or 3 of guys, top goal scorers, and somebody that, was a guy that could break the game open at any minute.
Were you there when Chad was over in Australia, or were you after that?
I never played with Chad in Australia, no.
Okay, because Chad and Vinny came over. They were unbelievable. And Chad led the German league this year, top scorer.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's one of those guys that you can count on him when you need a goal or a play. Before
Paul asks his final question, I just wanted to get Shoppy to understand that you're not coming to Germany. He's wanting to know, when are you going to come and play in Germany? You're first trying to get to Australia. Yeah. And, of course, you signed in Newcastle with Gary Dory, a really cool guy. They're a great organization. But, unfortunately, we've been told, we've had David Turek on, their season has been canceled. But you may still be going over there.
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, so much is up in the air right now. I was supposed to be heading to Australia to play in the English, in the Australian league there, and with Gary Dory, a great guy. He actually from Port Alberni. I had a little bit of a cup of coffee, a full season in Port Alberni in the BCHL where he's from. So we get to reminisce about that. And Kerry, we've done a few games there in Newcastle. Rosie, were you in Newcastle? Did we do anything in Newcastle your year?
I don't think so.
No, we didn't go up there for a game. We've gone up a couple times, so I got to know Gary that way. And he runs a great little operation there, and I was fortunate enough just to stay in touch with all the good folks that we meet on that tour. I mean, it's just a great time, and the people you meet and the connections is what makes this game so beautiful. And I was on my way to go do my law degree and play in Australia for 3 years and do some coaching and hockey instruction, because I do a company in the summertime teaching youth hockey, Columbia Valley Hockey School. So I was going to do some of that down there too, and then COVID struck, so a little bit on hold right now. Going to start the uni online, and then hopefully next April is when their season will start again. We're back to normal. I'm obviously, you would hate to think that we're not back to playing hockey by then, but they are great. Great down there in Newcastle, and they've been really helpful, sort of supportive, and obviously this time of uncertainty. And I'm looking forward to getting that started whenever we can.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let me ask you a last question before we let you go. You have an opportunity to take a game you love, and I love, and Gooch loves, and Canada loves, to a country that really didn't know much about hockey. Now it's hockey's crazed. I know from taking some of the guys the last year I went, when we were together, to the hospitals and to see people. What does it mean to the essence of a Canadian to do something in a country like Australia and see the heart and soul of the young kids falling in love with this game that we grew up as part of our heritage?
Yeah, I mean, the game has become so global that it's amazing to see, and the business side of hockey, I love, and the sport, and the obviously from a player's aspect, the dressing room standpoint, and as I said earlier, the connections you make and the ability to give back and to help those in need, and in a position where you can make somebody's day by going to the hospital to see them, or a fan of the team, and that interaction at the minor pro level with the fans is I think so unique and so important that it's a main part of why you have all these different hockey leagues. But to see the game globally, and to be able to participate in globally, and go to and have an experience in Australia, much like I had an experience in the US, or being able to go over to Europe and play in different countries and experience different cultures and make so many friends, is to me something that I hold very dear, to my my memories and my sort of passion of the sport. But it's unfortunate that we're not going to be able to go to Australia this summer for the tour, because I think that's always a great time, and a fun time. But I think looking forward to next May or June, or whenever we can get down there and do the tour again. I guess I'll already be down there by then, hopefully, fingers crossed. But
yeah,
I look forward to getting back to that and the good times, and when we get through these tough times here.
All right, just before we go, we've got a couple.
Hopefully, Gooch will bring me again, and you'll help me finally break my cherry and get my first win.
Oh, we'll get you a win. We'll get you a win down there. We got Gooch. I like to call Gooch Don King, because he just has that.
I got the hair. Hey, listen, but the next guest may come and coach the U.S. because Jeff Christian, I've always wanted to get him over there. So you'll be in tough, Paul, but we'll talk to him about that. Before we let you go, Adam Cox, one of our equipment men, Adam,
yeah.
Kevin, he's saying real quickly, just best memory of Australia.
Best memory of Australia.
Don't mention that bar. Don't mention that bar.
Yeah. What bar? Curfew.
Yeah.
He runs a tight curfew down there.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Tony does.
You know what? I think it's just for me, it's just all the people you meet, and the friends and the connections you meet, and those good times. The hockey is great, and the wins are awesome, and playing, but it's just hanging out with all the guys from so many different leagues, and finding the different stories and the different backgrounds of guys. And I think that's one of the best parts about the sport and like life. Like, I think in a time like this with COVID, is what we're really realizing is that those connections to the socialization of being able to go to a coffee shop or a bar or to a restaurant or have parties is what we're really sort of missing, and creating that anxiousness of having to stay home or having to be very aware of that interaction with others. And I look forward to getting back to that. But I see some of the comments here too, like come play for the Bears, Sydney Bears.
Ooh, well, they won the championship. But there is a Don Beck. I think we should say greetings from Youngstown, Ohio. Former billet dad to the first Aussie drafted. Nathan Walker, that's fantastic. Mercyhurst Lakers fan. So shout out to Kevin as well from Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, hi
You know
to
that name?
Yeah, I played out in Erie, obviously, and then I played with a few guys from Youngstown or from Ohio there. And I spent some time visiting those guys, and it's great up there. So hi to Don and hi to all the other people that sort of jumped on here, and Jake Gilmore.
Jakey Gilmore.
Say hi to Jakey, and I hope I can see him down there again soon. And he's a great guy. We had some great times.
Absolutely, no question.
You know,
And he's off the ice, of course.
Well, no, but Gooch, we went through. They say you build bonds in tough times, and I swear that taking down that arena or swimming pool, we bonded.
All right, next, Paul. You want to say anything quick?
Yeah, you know what? I just want to end it by saying this is what I love about what I've been honored to do with Gooch every day is we have people from all over the world connecting about stories about this game that we love. And I love it. Gets me through the day, man.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing great things, and I'll leave it at that. And thank you for having me on. Anytime you guys want to chat, I'm here. And you guys keep doing what you're doing. And love to you both and your families. And stay strong, Rosie, and everybody else out there that's listening. We will get through this, and we will rise up, and it will get better.
You got it, Kevin. Thank you. Please give our love to Victoria. Very proud of her.
Love to all. And
you got it.
Okay.
See ya.
Cheers, fellas.
Bye, Nobs.
Bye.
What the puck? That was fantastic. I love Kevin. Kevin. Listen,
he was a heart and soul guy. He never said a bad thing on the bench. When I needed him, he was there. If not, he never said it. Perfect player that a coach wants.
Yeah, but you should have had him captain. You probably would have won. Hey, listen, the next guy that's coming up, maybe I can convince him.
There, Noel Yockman was my captain.
Pretty good captain too. Before we'll make it quiet, but I've been trying to get Jeff, and Jeff's wanted to come. So maybe the moons will align, and he'll be the coach on the USA team. Even though he's a Canadian, he's living down stateside. Wow, what a fight that would be! Paul Rosen against Jeff Christian. What do you think?
Well, if I go 0-3, I'm done. I'll never go behind the bench again.
Well, if he's coaching, I think you're going to be 0-3.
Hey, look at that. We got a special man with him.
Fantastic. Well, that's the assistant coach. So just before we announce Jeff Christian, here he is with his beautiful daughter. Oh, we don't hear Christian. Christian, we got a little bit of a problem with the sound. Just give us a sec. We'll be right back with you. Obviously, Paul, while we try and fix that up, I think it was our buddy Robert. Did you make a statement, Robert, about the sound? We'll get Jeff to come in and out. There is Jeff Christian.
Hi, Gooch.
Oh, there you go.
No, it's the mute. It's the mute button. You always got to do the mute button. What's our beautiful daughter's name?
This is Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Yeah, she's not the assistant coach. She's the boss. She's the GM. This is the one
she
runs the
absolutely.
Show.
Hey, Tyler.
Tyler, you're gonna have a big problem because you got to put a team together that can beat our buddy Paul. He's 0-2, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, she said she can do that.
All right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well,
don't say I could.
Yeah. Well, we're really honored to have you. I know you're a very busy guy, Jeff, and obviously, Paul, it's the first time meeting you. Paul, why don't you start it off? I know Jeff very well. We played together over in Australia, in Belarus, and I've known him for a long time. Please, by all means.
Yeah. Well, the first thing, just briefly, I want to say, with Christian Brothers and Christian Hockey is one of our sponsors. Is there any relation there? Did you use a Christian hockey stick? Are you? Oh, there he's bringing it out.
Unfortunately, no relation. But yeah, this is my stick here. I actually used this one in Pittsburgh for a little while. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I got the photographic proof right here, baby. Christian Hockey.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Dave Christian. I haven't seen him in years, but. That's fantastic. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your career? You saw the picture there with the Penguins jersey on. Tell us about Jeff Christian.
So I'm from Hamilton. Grew up in Mount Hope. My dad was a tie cap for 5 years. Won 2 Grey Cups, And then in like 76 or 77, we moved out to Mount Hope, which is a small little town. I got 5 brothers and a sister, so big family out in the country, always playing hockey, pond, street, road, whatever. Yeah, so I played Glanbrook minor hockey out there, and then this is kind of a funny story, but at age 16, I was cut from my Glanbrook Junior C hockey team. At age 17, I was drafted 23rd overall in the NHL. So what happened was Dundas Junior C Blues called me, said, come on out, try out. I did. From there, I went to the London Knights, and after my first year with the Knights, I got drafted. So a lot can happen in a year and a half, really. But drafted by the Devils, went to 6 camps and played 4 years with them in the minors, and then signed with the Penguins for 3. I was in Cleveland for 3 years and up and down a little bit in Pittsburgh, 96, 97. Anyway, went on to play in Europe and 21 years pro. So that was kind of the gist of it. That Don Beck there, who wrote in, great guy in Youngstown, good buddy of mine, loves hockey. He's got a goaltender son.
Fantastic. That is a long career.
Absolutely. But listen to this one. Jeff is a really modest guy, but I did some Wikipedia and I found this one. He is one of only a few players in hockey history to play over 1,400 professional games, 1,406 exactly, while scoring over 500 goals, 574, over 700 assists, 792, and having over 3,300 penalty minutes, 3,370. So he can not only dangle, he could duke them. Tell us about that.
Dangle.
That's incredible.
Dangle and dingle.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Well, Gooch, I mean, like I said, my dad was kind of a tough guy, so he would always say, listen, if you're not scoring, you better be making plays. If you're not making plays, you better be getting in fights. Do something to stand out. And especially like when I went to London my first year, I mean, I was not a great skater, didn't have that explosive stride, but I mean, I really kind of old school fought my way in 87. I mean, I was, lucky enough to play in the third line as a rookie. So I got some ice time, but I mean, I fought a lot my first couple of years in junior. It was just the way it was back then. You guys know. So
any names that we would know that you got into a tussle with?
Well, I got a couple on YouTube. One with Barnaby in preseason, where he was kind of playing it up for the crowd. Which, I mean, at home, that's what you do. And then I had another good one with Craig Rivet in Montreal when I was up with Penguins. And it's one of those famous games. I don't know the date, but I think Mario might have got 5 points in the third period or something like that. We lost, but I got sent down the next day, of course. But pretty good little scrap. Rick Tocchet. But I mean, in the minors, I mean, I fought a lot of guys that were a lot bigger than me. So defense first. That's my motto. I was working with a kid. I was working with a kid this summer named Teddy Sawyer, who was he's with Ottawa 67s. Went as a 15-year-old. He's here in Columbus, and I coached him as a peewee. And we did some D stuff, mobility and puck retrievals and stuff. And then we got into it. We're like, okay, how do you defend yourself? And I'll tell you what, the kid made the team as a 15-year-old Ottawa, and he got into a couple tussles. I'm Gooch. Watch out for him. I think he's going to be a first rounder in a couple of years.
All right. Well, we look forward to that. Listen, you got a lot of Krefeld Penguin fans. You got a lot of fans already up here. Chris Evans saying hello from Owen Sound. And we've got
good wings at the Evvies back in the day.
All right.
Flanders Day.
Katie Kibler. Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
And Jeff.
We've got fans.
Hashtag Team Ryan. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. We have Brooksy out of Krefeld. Of course, Shoppy, our European correspondent, says, wow, look at the Krefeld dress. Can you just pull it up a little bit? Let's see. All right.
Oh, there goes my stick.
That's all right. It's not the first time you dropped your stick. And we certainly are excited to have a bunch of Krefeld fans. Talk about your experience in Krefeld. I know you played a couple of years in Germany, but the Krefeld has always had a traditional ice hockey platform. Right now, they've gone through some changes, as Paul mentioned earlier. They got an investor out of Switzerland that have brought them back to a financial stability. Roger Nicholas, I don't know if you know Roger at all or played against him. He'll be taking over as a general manager. Looks like they have a good future. Tell us a little bit about what you experienced in Krefeld.
Well, I experienced quite a bit, Gooch. Actually, Ryan was born in Krefeld. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So, after 10 years in the minors, I was 29, 30 years old, and my body was literally shut down. I mean, I couldn't even get off the trainer's table some day. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to make it up to the NHL, after 10 years in the minors. So it's time to look to go to Europe. So I signed with Krefeld, 2-year deal. And I'll tell you what, the biggest difference was there was no hitting, no fighting. And after 1 year in Europe, I was like, wow, this feels great. I mean, no travel. So, really prolonged my career going over there. But I love the hockey. I love the lifestyle. And I loved Krefeld, bless you. And bless you.
Oh, bless you.
But I mean, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I left Krefeld for Dusseldorf. Big rival, but we just felt like at the time it was the right move. Probably should have stayed in Krefeld, but really enjoyed my time in Dusseldorf as well. But Krefeld was a big hockey town there. They really embraced us. And of course, the year I left, they won the championship. Brad Purdy, Christoph
Yes.
Brandner,
Unbelievable. They were
Dan
called the
Lambert.
Remember that yesterday? They were called the Triangle Line or something like that. Shoppy was telling us that, Paul.
Yeah.
Shoppy does say you should have never left. They loved you. And you left, I guess, in 2002. And if you stayed, you would have been a killer with the Penguins. Well, hey.
Yeah, I led the league in goals that year, and you kind of go for the bigger payday. But hindsight and all that, I love my time in Krefeld. Great little town. One of the highlights, you talk about beer, but there was a guy named Diego who had pizza, and he would put the raw egg in the middle of the pizza. Did you ever have that over there, Gooch? Oh,
No, that was only when I went to Denny's. I never got that treatment. It was only Denny's. When I go down, Jeff, don't worry. I still hear everything.
All right, buddy. Yeah.
Okay.
But so anyway, we had a great time in Krefeld and Europe in general. We went 4 years in Germany, Scorpions, the 4th year up in Hanover, and then we went to England for 1, and then we came home to the Central Hockey League for 6 more seasons of fun, including the Youngstown Steelhounds with Don Beck. But it was good. I really enjoyed my time. Last year, I was able to go over to Austria and work as a kind of a consultant with a team over there for a week, and really hadn't been back since we left. Really love the lifestyle, love the people, and love the game over there. It's fast and it's fun.
Jeff, let me ask you a question, a little serious. So you played a long time and you battled, you're in the minors, you made it up, back to the minors, went to Europe. What do you say to a young kid, and you're coaching, what do you say to a young kid, 16, 17, has that dream of playing pro hockey? What do you sit down and tell him?
Well, it just depends. I mean, really, everybody's different. I think the value of an education is so important. Whether you get it through your OHL, your team in the Canadian system, or you get a U.S. scholarship, but everybody's different. Don't give up on your dreams. If you think you're working hard enough, guess again, because there's somebody out there working twice as hard as you. So sacrifice, commit. You got to be in the right place at the right time. But if you pay your dues and you keep working, you can get there. And look, Rosie, as you know, it's not all fortune and glory, right? It's not all it's cracked up to be. There's a lot of stress that goes along with it. There's a lot of heartache. There's a lot of injuries, concussions, God forbid. So you will pay the price. But if it's your dream to be a hockey player, it can be a great experience. And not only that, like you said, maybe you're not going to make it to the NHL. Maybe you're not going to be a superstar, but you can go play in Europe. You can get paid to see the world. All the countries over there have, teams. You're not going to get rich doing it, but you can get paid. And I always felt really fortunate because after my dad got in the accident in the summer of '72, after the Grey Cup in Hamilton, he got in a bad car accident. He couldn't play football anymore. He went to work at Dofasco in Hamilton, steelworker. And I thank God every day I didn't have to go and do that. I mean, that's work. Okay. Like, yeah, we're hockey players. We train, we travel, whatever. But I mean, you think about like my dad getting up at, 6 o'clock in the morning to go down to work every day. And I had a lot of respect for that. And, trained hard to stay out of that life. But yeah, I mean, it's a good life. I mean, look at Gooch. I mean, he's still playing, and he's 60.
Let's not get carried away. Hey, listen, we got a lot of fans obviously saying hello. Wanted to Howie Rosenblatt.
He's the man. He's the king of Cincinnati.
Yeah, hope you kicked Barney's butt. Bob Galima. Jeff, remember Ron Goodall? I remember Ron Goodall.
Goodall was with the Knights. That guy had a good set of mitts on.
Yeah.
I'm still, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did he play in He played in Germany, didn't he? Down in Deggendorf? Is that the same guy? Good player.
Real good player, yeah.
I'm going to check that out, see if he played. Scott Griffith. Jeff, is Troy Appleby the worst golfer you've ever seen?
He's one of them. Yeah, Troy.
You are, he is.
Yeah. So, I am. I'm way worse. But Troy's got a real sharp pencil in his bag. Hey, so here's the thing.
And an eraser. He's got to have an eraser.
Yeah, Troy's a good dude. He's out of he's in Brantford. But here's the thing about Columbus, where I live, and it's a sneaky hockey town. There's a lot of good hockey here. I believe I heard it's the second largest men's league in the United States, next to Minneapolis. So a lot of guys, Canadian guys, went to Ohio State, stayed there, made homes in Columbus. So Troy was one of the guys that we used to play pickup with. Great pickup hockey on Tuesdays and Thursday nights here in Columbus. We have a lot of fun, drink some beers, high five and chirp each other, and nobody gets too crazy out there. But Columbus, Ohio is a sneaky good hockey town.
Yeah, you know what? We got to worry about when you come over to Australia and coach Team USA against Paul's Canada. He's 0 for 2, and I don't know who I'm putting my money on. But before you get in on it, Paul, you can come in on it. But I just want to say Martin Williams is telling me yes. Ron Goodall played in Deggendorf. I played just before he got there. Man, he was a good player. Miriam Pop, never forget you giving your teeth to Francie before practice because you forgot to take them out. Jeff, if you remember that. And Brooksy says it was the magic triangle. The magic triangle, whatever that means.
That was that. If he's talking about the line, that would have been Brad Purdy, Christoph Brander, and Patrick Augusta. So Purdy, Western Canadian, great centerman, great vision. Christoph Brander was Australian. They called him the Big Anton. 6'5", came over and played with Minnesota in the NHL.
Yeah.
And Patrick Augusta, Czech guy, great scorer. Played in the IHL, a couple of games in the NHL. But what a line. Gary Shuchuk, Gilbert Dion, and myself were the second line in Krefeld.
Holy Jesus.
I mean,
so what is it? What is a magic triangle, Paul? You ever heard of that? What is that?
No, we talked about that yesterday. No, we tried to compare it to the Flying V in the Mighty Ducks.
Could be. You just mentioned Gary Kuchuk. Do you still have contact to him? Shoppy's asking.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of guys, Gooch. I like to keep in touch. Gary Shuchuk is now coaching GM in the USHL. Great guy, great family. And Gilbert Dion. I mean, if anybody can connect with Gilbert on Facebook, he does these TikTok videos with his kids right now.
Yeah, I saw them.
Funniest thing I've ever seen. Just and the thing about Bert was Chris Valentine was our coach in Krefeld. Didn't like Bert.
Oh
much.
yeah.
And he was hard on me too, and I appreciate it because I needed a kick in the ass once in a while. But Bert used to do the perfect Zamboni horn. So if you line up at the goal line to skate, he'd give me the old meh, meh, like that, and you're like looking around, like, oh, time to go, I gotta go. But great bunch of guys there. Dan Lambert, who's coaching the
great guy
with Nashville.
Is it the Dan Lambert that was with you, or I don't know if you were with the Scorpions? Did he play in Hanover?
He went to Hanover after I left.
Yeah, good player. He was a good player.
Really
good guy. Yeah. Well, listen, we talked a little bit before we get into Team Ryan. We want to hear all about that. And then, of course, we're going to end it. We want to talk a little bit about your brother. But you know what, Paul? I know that we're not going to have enough time with Jeff to go through it all. So we're going to leave his brother. We're just going to talk a little bit, if you don't mind. And you know what? I'm going to bring him back. Jeff's going to come on Saturday's roundtable. And it's going to be, and I don't know if you know about Jeff's brother, but he'll mention it at the end of the show, and you'll know why we need to talk about that. So I'm going to let you now, Paul, you and Jeff, talk about your strategy for if and when we get over to Australia. I want to hear you two talk about it. If he's Team USA coach and your Team Canada coach.
My strategy as going 0-2 so far.
Rosie, I can't hear you.
Is you can't hear me?
Go in and out quickly, and I'll ask a question. You go in and out, Paul, and then I'll ask a question.
All right, you go ahead.
You're going in and out? Okay. Sometimes on this Be Live, if I go down and up, so that's why I go out. But unfortunately, it sometimes takes him out. So let's see if our buddy's back.
There he is.
Yeah, listen, Marni Trapolino's coming up next.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's exciting.
You know what?
You hear him?
I'm only going to be, Jeff, I'll be very,
Jeff, do you hear him?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to be fan friendly because we got a lot of people on that don't want to hear different language, and we're very cognizant of that. So being 0-2, if I get the chance to coach again, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do whatever it takes. When I played goal for the para ice hockey team, I was hated. There was guys in Norway and Sweden and Germany. They hated me because I did whatever it took to win, and that's what I will do in Australia if I ever get the chance to coach again, whatever it takes.
You're the Billy Smith of Austrian.
Actually, they compared me after we won the gold in Torino in 2006. We did a comparison with every player, and Hockey Canada compared me to Ron Hextall.
Oh, see?
And I was honored.
I love it. That's great. I'll tell you what, I got a lot of respect for the Paralympians. I don't think I could play that. I mean, the upper body strength that it takes. It's amazing. But so whatever it takes. Okay, well, we'll have to come up with a lot of trickery then and confuse you guys. Some fancy plays out there.
All right.
Hey, what's the bet? Let's do a bet. What's the bet?
When Konopka comes back to captain the U.S. again, I'm out.
Oh, crazy man. All right. Well, you know what? Because I'm the Don King, as you put it. At least I got the hair going. I'm going to call it a draw right now. So I'm not gonna pick favorites. But if you send me some money, we'll see who I pick. Listen, let's talk about.
I have no money.
Yeah, Tyler's a beautiful young lady. We know about I know personally about the Ryan story. So please tell us a little bit about Ryan and, of course, Team Ryan. I know that Shoppy and Brooksy had brought it up. Ryan was born over in Krefeld, was she not?
Yes, Ryan was born in Krefeld in 2002. Ryan was the great doctor. The team doctor Martin Wazinski was our doctor, and my wife, it was her first baby. So Dr. Wazinski was in there like, Dory, I'm your coach, calm down. And it was kind of a scary time. My wife didn't speak that much German and first baby and everything, but Ryan was healthy, beautiful baby. We had a great bringing her up in Europe. Like I said, I mean, the lifestyle, can be at home with her during the day after practice and things, not a lot of travel, but so kind of fast forward, I'm playing for the Missouri Mavericks, my 20th year pro, and get a call just after practice. We were playing Juice Boy or something, and they called the one gal who worked at the rink, and she came and got me and said, Ryan's been rushed to the hospital. So Ryan had a massive seizure, and it took them quite a while. It took them a week to 10 days to find the tumor. And she was diagnosed with a very rare cancer called adrenal cortical carcinoma. It's an adrenal gland cancer that's extremely rare. So she survived the surgery in Kansas City at Children's Mercy to remove the tumor. We went to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis because it's such an extremely rare cancer. And Ryan went through 8 of the most intense rounds of chemo with drugs like cisplatin and doxorubicin, like hardcore heavy-duty chemo, and came out cancer-free, which was a miracle in itself. And she really no side effects or very little side effects. I mean, she lost her hair and a lot of weight, but so we were just praying, because this cancer, there's really no cure for this cancer at stage 4. And she was diagnosed at stage 4 because it had spread to her lungs. And then, so Ryan's fight went 3 years, and we ended up moving up to Columbus, Ohio, when they told us we didn't have a lot of time left. And we lost her here in Columbus on January 24th, 2013. And yeah, I mean, she was just a special little girl, and I'm so fortunate and blessed every day. I thank God every day that we have Tyler, who, is a healthy 8-year-old and doing 8-year-old things. But Ryan was touched a lot of people and was a special little kid and had a great attitude and loved life. And so we started the Team Ryan Charitable Foundation to raise money for pediatric cancer research. Since Ryan's passing, I think we've raised between $250,000 and $300,000. A lot of it goes to St. Jude. Some of it goes to Princess Margaret in Toronto. Some of it goes to Nationwide Children's here in Columbus. But it's kind of our life's mission. And my wife was actually just named Nationwide Insurance Volunteer of the Year. So she's pretty happy about that. But yeah, so that's Ryan's story. Like I said, it's been 7 years since we've lost her. You never get over it, but you learn how to cope. And I volunteer with St. Jude now. I talked to recently bereaved parents, helping them try to deal with the grief and the loss of children. So it's something like everybody's got their charity, everybody's got their thing. This is my fight. And obviously, it affected me directly. So that's Ryan. I mean, you can go to teamryan.org and see kind of the story. It's not, the website's kind of under construction at times, but anyway, so yeah, that's Ryan was a beautiful little girl who just had for no reason at all, a terrible cancer.
Oh gosh, I know that we've talked about this before, so you're doing amazing work, and keep the fight, because having her go through what she did, and you guys there all the time, how important that was. Paul, Jeff has had an extremely great life, but also a couple of tragedies that have set him back a little bit. Before we talk about that, you are so loved around the world, Jeff. We've got great comments here. Ray Manning, thank you, Jeff, for your support to the Indian Hills Ranger hockey tournament. I also see that Don Beck, Jeff, treated Nathan Walker and our family to his first NHL game in Columbus. Jackets, do you remember that?
Yeah.
And you're a Nathan Walker fan?
Oh, yeah.
What a good kid.
Great kid.
Love him.
Good. Now, before we skip over that, Ray Manning, he's a policeman in Cincinnati that organizes a fundraiser for a policeman that was shot, and they great job down there. That's a lot of fun. But did you know Nathan Walker when he was young? I mean, you guys have been going over there for 10 years now.
I knew of him. I didn't know a lot about him, but then once we saw him play a couple times, we just fell in love with him, and he's been a big supporter of ours, and we're really blessed to have him in the family. Beautiful parents, and now he's recently married and a father. So Stormy, he's known as Stormy. He's back in Australia. I think I've just been noticed that he's on watching us, so that's really cool. And then there's Craig Kibler. We love you, Jeff, and the family. And of course, Shoppy wants to say, Jeff, all the best. Good luck with your foundation. They're big supporters. All right, Paul. I know Jeff's going to tell us a story. I won't mention it because I don't know all the details. Jeff, give us a little bit of insight on it. We're going to go into depth on that and a couple other things on Saturday on our roundtable with Val. Please.
Yeah, so talking about my family, and Brandon, my younger brother, who played a long time in the Quebec Senior League, was shot and killed on Super Bowl Sunday at about 6:30 p.m. And what we're going to talk about on Saturday is, Brandon struggled most of his adult life with bipolar, manic depression. He just had a really rough time of it, became alienated from the family, and mental illness. I know it touches a lot of families out there. It was just a terrible, terrible tragedy. He really, really just struggled. And I know a lot of people in Quebec really loved Brandon. He was a tough guy. He was a fighter. Made his home up there for a long time, and we don't know a lot of the details, to be honest. It's all under negotiation. It's but investigation, excuse me. But it's just awful. Like, I found out about a guy reached out to me on Facebook and was like, "Oh, sorry about your brother," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So, tragedy. We don't have a lot of the details at this time, but Brandon, like I said, he just struggled with a terrible mental illness most of his adult life.
Yeah. What can I say? I
think Rosie's out.
With do you hear me, Jeff?
He can't. But say it, and I'll explain to him.
I'll go out and come back in.
Okay, good. Yeah, Paul, as you probably know, we reached out to you. I reached out to you, Jeff. I
Yeah.
just can't imagine. Even, I lost my sister, so I understand that. When you lose a sibling, it's absolutely heart-wrenching. So again, I know it's fresh. We're still our hearts out, and we'll talk more about it on Saturday. But here's Paul. Final word, Paul, about it.
Yeah. No, just to hear the stories. I have 3 kids, all in their 30s, and one of my oldest daughters, 36, has 2 boys and a girl coming in a few months. So I'm a grandfather. I've struggled with mental illness for many years. 15 months ago, I don't know if you know, I tried to take my life. Gooch and Tony were 2 of the first people there at the hospital side when I got up and spent some time in the psychiatric ward. 15 months clean and sober for the first time in 35 years. Yeah, it's a tough struggle, and I'm fortunate that my family they just kept a grasp on me, and I did some really stupid things, and mental health is a tough thing, and you bringing light to it, it means a lot to us who have gone through it, to have good people that care, and that's what it's all about. And with the foundation for your daughter, anything I can do to help, you just let me know. I'm honored that you shared the story.
Thank you, Rosie, and God bless you. And just, same. I mean, that's the thing, right? If you need anything, reach out. And that's the thing too. You know what Ryan's fight really taught me was to be humble. And
Yes.
I mean, I was raised by my dad, who, like I told you, was a tough guy. Take on the world, stand up, be a man, all this other stuff. And I really had to learn how to say thank you. I mean, so many people helped us. The Missouri Mavericks, Brent Thiessen, and all these guys. Bill Altos was a great reporter there, but all these people in Missouri that we didn't know, just generosity. And you have to learn how to accept help and say thank you.
Yeah.
And it really humbles you. But everybody goes through something in their lives, tragedy, and to have good friends and good people to rely on and help, it's not a sign of weakness, in my opinion. It's to reach out and say, hey, I'm struggling with this or that. And, like I said, guys, if there's anything I can ever do for your charities, let me know. I mean, I'm the first one in.
Just coming on the show and sharing your stories helps us because we're helping others. And we really look forward to Saturday because we'll get a little more in depth on the actual mental health, and we'll get your opinion on what's going on today. We have some guys that are suffering from post-concussion syndrome. They can't see therapy right now. So we're kind of on the phone. I know Paul's dealing with a couple of guys. We had a great chance to talk to Brent Sopel and his trials and tribulations and what's going on with people as we go through this isolation. So Jeff, we look really forward to talking to you about that, understanding a little bit more about what your brother went through, and of course thank you for your offer to be there for us. As you know, hockey's a family, and that's what I've learned from this journey. Turning 60, Paul's going to join the 60 club in a couple of days. I'm going to go 61 in lockup, and I can tell you what, I can look back and appreciate the family, and that's what we are. So, and we had so much fun in Belarus together. There's more fun to come. So look forward to talking to you on Saturday.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll see you Saturday.
Team Ryan. Bye from all your great fans around the world. And of course, Crayfeld saying, thanks for wearing the jersey. Always a Penguin.
Once a Penguin, always a Penguin, right?
You got it. Fantastic. How great is that? Yep. Okay. All right, Jeff. See you, buddy.
Right. Thanks.
Say bye to Tyler. Bye.
Thanks.
Wow, what a great story. What a great story.
You told me about him, but wow, what a human being. I can't wait to Saturday. It's going to help a lot of people.
Oh, God. Oh, and somebody's whispering in my ear. I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an incredible guy. You know what? That's what the show's about.
It's not Tonic Thursday, is it?
Is it Thursday?
No, I think it's Wednesday.
It's day 39. I know that.
Yeah. Tonic Thursday's tomorrow.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Cool.
Well, listen, we're going to get Val on really quickly with overtime, and then we've got a special guest.
Cool.
A very special guest.
Looking forward to it.
I'm really I wonder if she's ready.
She's always ready.
She's like, oh my God, there is our man. Val, what's going on, kid?
Not much, guys. How you doing today?
We're doing good. Listen, what a story. Jeff Christensen, Jeff Christensen. He, honestly, he used a Christian stick, Paul.
I saw it, and it was a beauty. Old wood.
That a blue Christian.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the first ones when the company first started back in the day.
Yes, well, no, a little bit before that time, I had the Christian hockey. There was no color; it was all black, and of course the wood color. So what do we got going on?
Not much. The Major League Baseball has actually come down and given the Red Sox a slap on the wrist for their dealings with sign stealing in winning their World Series.
Finally.
Yeah, they've only lost a second-round draft pick, and the team's former manager has been suspended for the 2020 season, if there actually is going to be a season this year.
Hey, Paul, you're a baseball fan, right? You're a big baseball fan.
Well, Korsman was let go, so he's got nothing to do with baseball anymore. They've the Red Sox have let him go, so the suspension from Major League Baseball means nothing. He's done. He is pretty well. His career is over.
Yeah, he'll probably go overseas and coach overseas in Japan and in Korea.
Oh, you know what? Right? He'll end up with that Bill Peters. Won't he end up somewhere in Russia with the KHL?
Yeah, there's no baseball in Russia.
No baseball in Russia.
I think what probably will happen is there'll be a year that Cora will. This guy's been around baseball a long time, and he's a winner. He'll take a year and wipe himself right off the face of the earth and probably come back as an analyst.
Paul, question or Bell? Tell me the movie. Is this Russia Danny?
Who?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Is this Russia Danny? What movie is that from?
Russia Danny.
Yeah, it's in a famous movie. Okay, keep
movie
going.
person,
I'll tell you.
The line does sound extremely familiar, but I can't.
Chevy Chase was in it. All right, keep going.
Oh, Caddyshack?
Yeah, no, forget it. All right, what do you got? What else you got?
Just Russia, Danny. Oh, it's gonna gnaw at me.
You'll let me know later. I'll give you $5
one of the vacations. All right.
Okay, listen.
What's going on?
Netherlands has canceled the football season, so that's official. Thank you. Shoppy, our European correspondent. Ruth Kremazov, love you. Thanks for watching. Final words there, Val, before we bring in our beautiful, wonderful, talented Marni Trapolino and her father, Sam. We'll talk a little bit about their commercial.
Sounds good. Listen, just for tomorrow's show, we have Marshall Starkman. Hopefully I'll get this right. Team Canada's national para sledge hockey manager. Did I get that right?
Paul?
Para ice hockey. Hockey was what it used to be before. I still get mixed up, but he's a general manager for the para Canadian hockey team.
Thanks, Paul.
You got it. Great guy.
And we also have Ken Belanger, NHL alumni, who will be joining us tomorrow for the show also.
Paul, you know Kenny, don't you?
I do.
Tough kid. Nice kid. Got a lot going on. He's going to talk to us. He trains a lot of kids around Ontario, and we look forward to talking to him. What are kids doing right now? Like, how do you train? Anything else? Val, anything else?
Oh, just one more thing. The NHL is thinking of moving their draft to June before the season's actually come to an end. And as you guys can imagine, a lot of teams are not happy with that consideration.
Right. Well, you know what? Our next
the draft is always in June. Like when
prior to the season ending, that's what they're thinking of doing this year because of what's going on and stuff like that.
They don't know what's going on with this season. I get it.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously you see a picture of somebody in a Penguins jersey. Yep. Once a Penguin, always a Penguin. Someday this girl's going to be so good, she'll be the first to get drafted in the National Hockey League. What do you think of that statement?
I'd love to.
It's only 12.
Anything's possible. Hey, Jeff Christian told us anything's possible. I believe it.
All right.
That makes sense.
Okay, so we look forward to joining Jeff Christian on Saturday. We're going to do the roundtable. We're going to talk about mental health. And, of course, we'll find out more information about his brother being shot in Montreal. Horrible story. But you know what? There's always a positive, and we'll work with Jeff to find out what that positive is. Anything else there, Val?
No, nothing more, guys. Have a good night.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Bob.
Great
See you
job.
tomorrow.
Thanks for
See you guys.
that was always in my ear. So thank you for keeping me abreast of when I say all the names wrong.
Those names, yeah.
All right.
See you tomorrow, Val.
Take
Thanks,
care,
buddy.
guys.
Bye.
Listen, are
All
we
right.
lucky? Watch this.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, Tommy.
He's the bunnies, baby.
Oh,
Honey.
honey. Honey. Which life is on? Honey. Money?
Hi, it's Gary Blake, better known as Gooch. It's Gooch Live featuring
Paul Rosie, better known as Rosie.
and you know what? It's brought to you by the good people at the Hockey News.
I think you know already.
People at Christian
Father
Hockey.
Christmas is coming.
Gooch Live.
It's Christmas.
Can you believe that? Paul, can you believe that? 12 years old, living in Adelaide,
Hey.
and she does a commercial for Gooch Live featuring Paul Rosen.
Gooch, I'm going to be 60 on Sunday. I could barely turn my computer on. She just did something that directors would be happy with.
Unbelievable little girl. She's not a little girl, young lady.
Yes, young lady, 12 years old.
Well, look at this. Look at this picture.
Wow.
She got suited up,
She loved
and her
hockey, eh?
father and Marni are here. Sam and Marni are coming on. Woo! There they are.
Hey.
All the way from Adelaide, Australia. How we doing, guys?
I can't hear her.
Gooch, you've got us on mute still.
No, you're off. I learned how to turn it off, actually. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Marni,
Hey,
you are fantastic. What time is it?
It is 6:46 a.m.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Paul, you get first question to our
Yeah, first of all,
superstar.
thank you so much for being a fan. You are lovely. And I see that you're a huge Pittsburgh Penguins fan. Why
Yes.
Pittsburgh, Marni?
Well, when I first joined hockey, it was one of the first teams I watched, and the way Crosby plays, I just thought, wow, if I could get to that level or play like that, that would be amazing. So I sort of look up to him, but I look at everyone and I not grab their tactics. I use their tactics in my game. And so really just any of the Pittsburgh Penguins, I just really like their team.
Fantastic. What about any Chicago Blackhawks? You know, I'm a Chicago Blackhawk fan. You like them or no?
My mum is Chicago.
I can't hear you. Stop, Gooch. What?
My wife loves the Blackhawks jersey, so yeah. And I guess we're a Probert family. We like Bob Probert. So
You know that Probert, when my gold medal was stolen at Kerry's event, my gold medal was stolen. I was talking to Bob Probert when we realized that my gold medal was stolen.
He'd be the right person to get it back for you, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait. I hope that we get down to Australia soon and I'm able to come back again, and I will bring the gold medal, Marni, so you can take a picture with it.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
I got that photo with you, Paul, in 2008 when the tour came. I got that photo with your with my pass that Kerry gave me.
All right, you know what? There's a segue to my next question.
Yeah.
Sam, how does your young daughter Marni, who I met just recently, and she showed me all the kangaroos on the golf course, beautiful young girl. Tell us, how did you get involved? I know it was through the Ice Hockey Classic, but prior to that, you weren't much of a hockey fan, were you?
We were the stereotypical Australian family. Your cricket, your Aussie rules football, netball. And then pretty much around 2018, my wife was looking for a birthday present for myself and went online and saw the USA-Canada game coming to Adelaide. Thought that would be great to get a part of. We'd seen little snippets on the television, and obviously we'd seen the Mighty Ducks, of course. This one didn't get to go to the Ice Hockey Classic. She was really annoyed, and I'm still in the bad books for that one.
I've been waiting 2 years, and now this has happened.
I kept on telling her it would come back to Adelaide, and it still hasn't yet. The coronavirus stopped us this time round. But before that, we tried to find a sport that we were both into. So we tried playing some golf. I'd been playing a bit of golf, so I was pretty good at that. And then Marni was constantly trying to replicate me rather than just, have a bit of fun. So then we found hockey, and it was something we'd both never done. I loved the event, getting to go backstage, getting to meet Nathan Walker. Hey, how you doing? The whole event was awesome. Meeting Paul, meeting Zenon Konopka, who you say, a little bit crazy. But yeah, my kind of guy. From there, we just fell in love with the sport. And then the Adelaide Rush, they ran a come and try day, which Marni went to, and Candice Mitchell and Christy Venus and all the girls put on a hell of a show. And since then, she's been hooked.
Well, you know what? We're so honored and glad that she's hooked, because you actually, Marni, have made the first official ad for us. And you know what? I hear in the rumor mill, Paul's going to come up and ask you a question. We're going to keep Paul and myself separate right now, because when we go to the 3 screens, we just can't see your beautiful face, Marni. So we're going to keep you guys. And when I bring Paul up, I'll go back out. So my question is to you, how did you do such a great job? Like, you're 12. Paul just got a computer, for God's sakes, and is just learning how to do it.
There's an app. I don't know whether you've heard of it. It's TikTok on the phones and iPads and everything. All the kids these days are using it, and so it's an app where you just record, and then when you stop, it cuts the scene, and then that's all we really did. We just cut the scene and then we recorded it again, and so it wasn't that technical, not as technical as our bin video. that was
Is that the one with the garbage?
Yeah.
Oh, that was fair. You know, we're gonna get that one up. You're gonna make one like that for us, okay? Because that's fantastic. Paul's gonna give you some ideas of what to do for us. But really, I gotta say that even with TikTok, because I know TikTok's this, right? You gotta do a little dance and all that, right? But for a 12-year-old, Sam, you and your wife must be so blessed to have a young daughter. I know you have a young son that I met also. You can talk a little bit about him after this, Sam, if you don't mind, because I'm going to bring Paul up, because he does have a really big question for you, but he also wants to know what our next video is. Okay, so as I send you to Paul, don't hurt his feelings. Okay, make it about me. Don't worry, Paul. Okay, all right, hang on here.
Waiting. And he's back. There you go.
I actually heard everything Kerry said, and Kerry hurts my feelings all the time, so don't worry about it. The question I want to ask you, Marni, is if I get a chance to come back and coach Canada, I want you, one of the games, or hopefully when we're in Adelaide, and if I get a chance to coach Canada and we get to Adelaide, would you come on the bench as my special assistant?
Oh, that would be awesome.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you, if I get a chance, if I'm coaching and we're in Adelaide, you're coming on the bench that game as my special assistant, okay?
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome. What's next on the videos? That video with when you shot the bag, the garbage, and it went and went. Obviously, it was just incredible. Have you thought of anything?
Yeah, we're actually working on the next one, but we're going to keep that one on the down low.
Oh, down low.
Oh my God, I got to join into this one. Paul, she's 12.
I know.
She's not letting us into the secret.
She's going to be my special assistant if we're in Adelaide and I'm behind the bench.
All right, so here's my question. You two can fight about this. Who's to say that she's going to be on the Canada bench?
Oh.
Well, I've invited her to the Canada bench. It's up to her what she does. I would be heartbroken if you decided to go to the U.S. bench after I've asked you to be on the Canadian bench. I'd be heartbroken.
I'd be wearing a Canadian everything, jersey, beanie, scarf, all of that. I don't support USA.
Yay, that's the right answer. Right answer.
I got a special assistant.
Okay, so Paul, you're going to come back for the last question. I've got my next one. So listen, hang on. Nope. Yeah, sorry, Paul. Paul's coming back in a sec. Now, Marni, you've obviously had the opportunity to through the Ice Hockey Classic, you got to play. Now you're playing ice hockey. Why didn't you play other sports like rugby or cricket or any of those sports? And now you've chosen ice hockey as your favorite sport.
Well, I do play netball still for my ponga, and my mum played and she was amazing at it. And so I just thought, well, everyone's sort of doing it and all my friends are doing it and it's sort of the sport around here. So I just gave netball a try and I really liked it and I am quite good at it.
I know you are. I know you are.
I'm the only kid in the whole entire school, my school, who plays ice hockey. One of my friends, Chelsea, they play hockey, like on the grass.
Yeah, that's field hockey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I always mention ice hockey because everyone goes, "Oh yeah, you play hockey, don't you?" And I'm like, "Actually, no, I play ice hockey."
Yeah. That's great. Well, Sam, before Paul comes up for the last question for you guys, how'd you get involved? I know that you and I've met. We had great plans for this year. We were so excited to come back to Adelaide. We had tremendous things planned. Obviously, Marni would be on the bench with Paul, of course. Tell us what you were planning for us, because it was amazing.
Look, from the moment I got a part of this and reading your online stuff leading up to the 2018 Classic, couldn't believe the hype. Couldn't believe you were bringing the quality players you were across.
Who was your favorite player?
Mine.
Yeah, at that time.
Current or past?
Who? No, that
Current
played at that game.
Played at that game. Jesse was in Konopka, obviously, but he wasn't playing in that game. He had that match off.
That's right.
I can't remember Jesse's last
was
name.
Was Brent Burns there? Was it 2018? Brent Burns? Was that?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude too.
Yes. The old toothless tiger.
Yes.
But yeah, just love the vibe and the passion you guys had for it. And then knowing that Adelaide was a chance of missing out, was trying to make sure that we had something that would bring it back. And like I mentioned earlier, Marni got started because of the Adelaide Rush girls, Candice Mitchell and the group. And so I thought of this idea to basically tie in the Classic and the Adelaide Rush, maybe try and drum up some sponsorship support for them. So we had the golf day planned. We were going to get some of the USA, Canada players, yourself, Wayne Primo, basically anyone we can. Some local Australian sports stars, Jason Gillespie, Tony Modra, basically anyone we can throw. It was going to be a big event, as well as a sportsman night detailing the stop concussions and the impact that's having in Australia at the moment. And it's really coming to the news, to the forefront at the moment with Jeff Polypharma and Danny Frawley, both in the news at the moment with that. So it's very poignant at the moment in Australia. Love what you're doing, and obviously anything to rub shoulders with some of the greats of the hockey is a bit of fun too.
Well, thank you. I know, Marni, I just see, actually, I did mention Brent Burns' name. I now see Susan Burns, his wife. She was over. They were a fantastic family. We really enjoyed them. So you follow in your footsteps. You work really hard, Marni, and someday you're going to make it to the NHL too, okay? And you can play against guys like Brent Burns, and we had Ian Cole and Kyle Quincy. We had so many great players. All right, I'm going to let Paul ask you the final question, and then we'll wrap it up with you, okay? And we'll talk a little bit about your brother, okay?
Yep.
There we go. Technology. So you know what? I was just going to ask you a fun question, but I know you're extremely smart. I hear the way you're talking and how intelligent you are. I want to know, with everything going on right now, Marni, all of people are being isolated in their homes. I'm living with my sister and my father right now. What will you say to all your friends who are their home and you're in your house? What do you have? What kind of advice do you have for everybody that's having a hard time right now in the way the world is?
Well, it is a sort of time that you can reflect on some things and think about what's good, what's the bright side of this, about how some places are getting cleaner. Maybe we might learn from this that we might be a bit smarter and not try and cut corners, or we might stop all the live animal food markets and all that. And just, we need to sort of stay strong and think about all the good things, not the bad things.
I knew at 12 years old, Gooch, I knew that she was going to come up with a gem.
She's not 12.
Gem.
No,
You might be on this earth only 12 years, but you're way older than that, sweetheart.
I want to see the birth certificate.
So do I.
Hey, Marni can run.
That was a beautiful answer. Thank you.
It was unbelievable. And Paul, she needs to go into politics. We need her.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I would win.
You know, Paul's sister Marni just came on. She's been on watching this. She says, "You're amazing."
Hi, Gail.
And you are amazing.
Well, I'm living. She's downstairs. I'm upstairs right now.
And then
we saw Tony saying hello early. Hi, Tony.
Yeah. And then we also have Martin Williams, who's in Germany, says, "Wow, what a smart and adorable girl." Marni, you are absolutely fantastic. So very proud of you. Listen, as we let you go, we're going to let you talk a little bit about your brother, okay? Sam, please tell us. Paul does not know about your brother, but he's a fabulous young boy.
Marni's younger brother, Dylan, has autism and a global learning delay. So he's the yin to Marni's yang. Marni has double standards of rules in our house, which is a bit tough sometimes. Dylan only eats, say, chicken nuggets and chips, and whereas Marni has to eat meat and 3 veg. Marni has chores to do, whereas Dylan doesn't. There's a lot of different standards in our house, which is why we try to make sure that hockey was available to Marni. We're a low-income family, and here he is. This is So this is Marni's brother, and so we tried to make sure that hockey was available to her as an outlet. She goes through she has to be more mature than she needs to be, looking after this little man. If I can just say one, Marni, when she was younger, Dylan had a lot of aggression issues, and she pretty much lost her first 6 or 7 teeth to either Dylan's head, fist, or knee. She learned how to self-defend very early. Dylan's coming a long way now. He's verbal negotiations doing a lot better, but he's her biggest supporter, biggest fan, and I fear for her if she ever gets the boyfriend, because boy, he's going to put her through a grilling in the half.
Well, you know what, my last word to you is thank you. Thank you for being a super young lady and being so mature. We have so many things going on wrong in this world and so many issues that we need more people like you, Marni, to help everybody understand the goodness in this world. So thank you so much, young lady. And you will be my special assistant behind the bench when Canada comes to Adelaide, okay?
Thank you.
Shout out to Arnie, Sophie, and Dad, and everyone who's watching here in Australia. And we've got a bit of a fan base online. We can see.
I see that. Yeah. Well, listen, hey, Dylan, see there?
Dylan. There we go.
Hi, Dylan. I remember seeing you at the ice rink. Right on, buddy. We'll see you guys when we come to Adelaide. Well, Sam, that was really special. Marni, thank you. We look for the next edition of our ad. Paul's so excited about hearing about it very soon. Dylan, thank you. And of course, to your beautiful wife. Guys, thank you for being not only an incredible family, an inspiration to all of us to live on. And of course, your beautiful words, Marni, will help us change this world. Thank you, and thank you.
For having us, guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Paul's going to say goodbye. Hang on.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye.
Can I just show you one thing?
Yeah.
Rosie, you gave me this.
Oh yeah.
And I said to my wife straight away when I got home, I don't know why I kept it, but I said, this is going to be important to me. I just thought the classic, everything. I don't know why, but yeah, this little piece of card's been with me ever since.
Look at
So
that.
thank
Fantastic.
That is an honor. Thank you so much.
You guys are beautiful. Love ya. Love you guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye, Dylan. What a beautiful family.
That's why we do this show, man.
Well, I know we went a little bit long. I'm sure there
Doesn't matter.
are lots
Who
of people still watching. Listen, as we close up, and your sister actually says it the best. We need role models just like Marni and of course Sam too. The parents, you have to be. You know what? Kids don't grow up in that way without having incredible support from their parents.
Yeah.
That beauty is taught. It's
unbelievable. 100%. And you know, sometimes, like, you know, you said they Sammy's got a beautiful wife and they do it, the two of them. Sometimes it's just one parent. You know, my sister's on the line. I didn't know she was even watching.
Yeah.
But you talk about a parent who's done everything by herself with 3 kids. She is an unbelievable person.
Yeah, well, we say thank you, Gail, for all you're doing too to keep our buddy in check. Listen, and Sophie, I don't know Sophie. I bet you she's one of the grandparents. She's on there. She's saying hi from Toby and Stella Cousins and Lucille O'Sullivan, always there for us. Guys, thank you so much. What a great show. Obviously with Kevin and Victoria over in his beautiful girlfriend taking care of England with the COVID situation. Then we had, of course, Jeff come on, Christian hockey stick user, but as important, you know, with Team Ryan, and then now with Marni and that wonderful family with Dylan having autism. Wow, what a great emotional show. And you know what, Paul? That's what we said this show would be all about.
Yeah, when we were talking about doing it, that's what we wanted to do, and I think every day it's getting a little better and a little better, and we got a lot of people watching. So I feel like we have a job to do, and
We got it. Absolutely. And I want to apologize to Sophie. It's Sam's sister. We don't see a picture, so I knew you were that age. If we'll leave it at that. Listen, what a great day. Paul, you have a great night. Look forward to tomorrow. We've got some great guests coming up with Ken Belanger. You're going to love him. LA King, you've met him before. He's got some insight for us. You've been watching Gooch Live featuring Paul Rosen.
Make sure that tomorrow you stick around after our show for, is it the 3rd or 4th version of Tonic?
I think it's the 4th, and Tony Meal, my wife, runs it. And I know that she's going to have a blast, and she's going to show off some of their new food items, selections, and also some new drink items. So thank you for that little plug, Paul. And I'll tell you what a great show. Hans Shoppy, I know it's time for you to go to bed. We're going to be talking with you tomorrow about some of the things you just put up. Tim Stutzler is nominated for a big award. And we're going to ask Shoppy about that. And Craig Ehrlich, how are you, buddy? Saying a great show. Big Chicago Blackhawks fan. Paul, till tomorrow, kid.
See you tomorrow.
Now,
good night.
thank you, buddy. Thanks for the overtime. See you later.
Yep.